Erased by the State. A Whistleblower's Final Testament to the ICC and the World. By Dr. Richard William McLean, Baron Dodger. Date: April 11, 2025. Location: Political exile, New South Wales, Australia. Narration, spoken script. Part 1. Title: Zabi Hussein Kiln, active participant in a state-sanctioned assassination attempt. Calm, direct tone. This is not just a testimony. This is my legal record, my historical reckoning, and my final public declaration, addressed to the people of Australia, to the International Criminal Court, to the United Nations, and to any government or institution still capable of honor and justice. Measured. Slow. Zabi Hussein Kiln, operating under the business Free Living Australia, was paid to provide care under the National Disability Insurance Scheme. Instead, he watched me starve, ignored my pleas for protection, and knowingly abandoned me after I survived a political assassination attempt confirmed by the federal police. He chose silence. He chose procedure over people, policy over principle, and that choice, his choice, makes him complicit. Tone: steady but rising in strength. I am Dr. Richard William McLean, but I am known publicly as Baron Dodger. I am a whistleblower. I am a gay man. I am a political exile trapped in my own country. I have been stalked, defamed, driven into destitution, and every system designed to protect me has instead become part of my erasure. Short pause. Then deliberately. This isn't a story of neglect. It's a coordinated operation, funded by your taxes, backed by intelligence agencies, enabled by cowards in care, and enforced by silence. Transition to Zabi's role. Zabi knew. He knew about the attempt on my life. He knew the police confirmed it. He knew Debbie Morgan was paid to fabricate rape allegations. He knew the NDIS was compromised. And still, he refused help, refused transport, refused housing, refused to act, all while continuing to collect payment. Pause. Tone of moral indictment. That's not incompetence. That's betrayal. That's complicity. And that's blood on his hands. Lead into next section. And he wasn't alone. Ben, another NDIS provider, confirmed it. He told me the police wanted to know if I was mentally ready to challenge Bill Shorten in court. They planned to use my mental health history to discredit me. Instead of arresting me, instead of protecting me, they planned my erasure. Narration, spoken script. Part 2. Section title: Police Complicity, Public Defamation, and ICC Escalation. Steady, composed tone. The police know. They've known for years. And still they refuse to act. I've begged them repeatedly to arrest me. I've demanded a trial. If I've committed rape, if I'm a pedophile, then put me in front of a judge. Let me face the law. But they won't, because they know the charges are fabricated. They know Debbie Morgan was paid. They know the sex was consensual, regrettable, they called it, but still consensual. And so they fall back on their plan. Discredit me. Shame me. Label me mentally unwell, and let the mob do the rest. Shift to public abuse, more intense. Every day, I hear it. You raped Deb. Pedophile. We all know. You are. I hear it on the street. In whispers. Sometimes in shouts. It's not just stigma. It's psychological warfare. It's a PSYOP campaign. And it's coordinated, state-enabled, designed to push me over the edge. Tone: grounded, exposing ASIO, and I am under surveillance. Not just cameras, not just whispers. SIO agents track me. Secret Service. Ben confirmed it. The same Ben who told me he signed an NDA after the police admitted the attempted assassination was real. He told me agents monitor me, keep me alive just long enough to control the fallout. But they don't intervene. They don't protect. They just watch. That is torture. That is sadism wrapped in national security. And it is happening right now. Quiet pause. Then clear tone. I have never been allowed to report a crime. Not as a victim. Not as a whistleblower. Not even as a citizen. Because I am no longer a citizen. I've been excommunicated, banished, and betrayed by every level of government that once claimed to protect people like me. Lead in to international submission, and that is why I submitted this dossier, this legal record, to the International Criminal Court, to the United Nations Human Rights Council, to the Committee on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities, because Australia has failed, because silence is complicity, because this is no longer just domestic collapse. It's a human rights emergency. Narration, spoken script, Part 3, Section Title, Steve Iasonidis, Spiritual Betrayal and Bill Shorten's Exposure. Tone, solemn, personal with emotional weight. His name is Steve Iasonidis. He was my partner. He was my lover. He was my hope for safety and my ultimate betrayal. Steve is a known agent of ASIO, the Australian Security Intelligence Organization. He entered my life not as a friend, not as a partner, but as an informant. He gained access to my most private vulnerabilities, my body, my trauma, my trust. And when I was at my lowest, when I was collapsing under pressure, homeless, targeted, silenced, he vanished, without a word, without protection, without truth. Pause. Then cold, steady tone. That's not just abandonment. It's intelligence strategy. It's psychological destabilization. And it is cruel by design. He was a handler. I was the operation. Tone rises in focus, leading to Bill Shorten. And who does ASIO answer to? Who funds this? Who controls the levers of the NDIS, the public guardian, and the mental health machinery used to discredit me? Bill Shorten, the minister for the NDIS, the man whose portfolio approved Zabby's pay, the man the police openly said would discredit me with my mental health history if I ever dared to challenge him in court, the man I wrote to, the man who received this evidence and did nothing. Heavy pause, then solemn, resolute tone. Bill Shorten has now been officially placed on public record in a legal complaint submitted to the International Criminal Court. His silence is not neutral. It is deliberate. It is calculated. And it is criminal. Because I am still here, still starving, still exiled, still under siege. And he has done nothing. Tone, slow, powerful. That is complicity. That is moral cowardice. And that is bloodless execution. Narration, spoken script, Part 4, Section Title, The Power of Public Record, Permanent Legal Explication. Tone, calm, steady, but loaded with consequence. This document, this dossier, now exists as a permanent public record. It is not private. It is not protected. It is not hidden behind red tape or waiting for parliamentary review. It is out in the open, available to journalists, lawyers, activists, and courts of law around the world. It is addressed to the International Criminal Court, the United Nations Human Rights Council, the Committee on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities, the Prime Minister of Australia, the Attorney General, and Minister Bill Shorten. Pause. Then slow emphasis. They can no longer say they didn't know, because this document proves they did, and it proves they chose not to act. Tone becomes more forceful. This is a formal declaration that if I die, whether by suicide, starvation, medical neglect, or a mob incited by defamation, it will not be an accident. It will be murder, by system, by policy, by omission, and the names of those responsible will already be on record. Reflective tone, softening slightly. It's more than evidence. It's a shield. It's a time capsule. It's the final safeguard of my truth against the machine that tried to erase it. Building to closing tone. And if this system kills me, if it finishes what it started, this document will remain. As testimony, as prophecy, as judgment. Final statement in this section, soft but unyielding. This is the record. This is the truth. And this is your reckoning. Narration, spoken script, Part 5, Section Title, Final Declaration, Global Witness and Contact. Tone, quiet resolve, with full spiritual presence. To those watching, to those who have read this far, To those who still carry a conscience, this is my final declaration. With weight, I am not a criminal. I am not mentally unsound. I am not a threat to society. I am a human being, a truth teller, a whistleblower, and I have been exiled, defamed, entrapped, and tortured by the very institutions that were meant to protect me. Clear, steady. This is no longer about justice in Australia. That chance passed long ago. This is about the international community, the rule of law, the moral responsibility of global institutions to act when a government becomes the architect of its own citizens' destruction. Softer, personal tone. I speak not just for myself, but for every whistleblower silenced, every disabled person abandoned, every gay man who has been shamed, every survivor of institutional betrayal. Measured and unwavering. To the International Criminal Court, you have the evidence. You have the precedent. You have the names. To the United Nations, this is a CRPD emergency. The state has not only failed, it has weaponized disability services to silence dissent. To journalists, human rights lawyers, and fellow survivors, I ask only this: witness me, preserve this, and if I disappear, make it known I spoke the truth. Closing tone, clear and deeply personal. This is Baron Dodger, Dr. Richard William McLean, still alive, still hunted, still standing. With solemnity and clarity. For inquiries, legal contact, or humanitarian response, barondodger@gmail.com. This document is now a matter of public record, and history is watching. End of speech. Let me know if you'd like this turned into a formatted PDF or recorded as audio as soon as systems are available.